Surprise, surprise. Hey! Yes, I'm back. Surprise, surprise. It is Wednesday. Wednesday, the first Wednesday in 2024. And I'm back. I've so missed you guys. So much. It's been way too long. I feel like, I just have this urge to say, you know what I would usually say. Happy Wednesday. Happy Mind Your Wednesday. Now, although it is Wednesday, and now that I'm back, things are going to look a little bit different. So I want to share what that different is going to look like. So if a few of you or any of you remember when I ended with the last episode, which was episode maybe 119, 120 of Mind Your Wednesday, I took a time out. Yes, I took a time out. And during that duration of time that I've been away from you guys, a lot of things have happened. But I'm back. And what we're going to look like moving forward is not a Mind Your Wednesday, even though we still need to be mindful. But it's going to be Time Out with Traci and the podcast. Yes, I said it, the podcast. I've been fighting it for so long because I got to be obedient. This is just another level of obedience for me. So, Time Out with Traci and the podcast will be coming to you soon on Wednesdays. Yes. So, I want you guys to reconnect, get used to seeing me again, and tune into the podcast. Now, what can you expect from the podcast? Time Out with Traci Ann. Well, it will be somewhat like the Wednesday mindful moments and nuggets that I would share with you, but probably in a little more depth. So the revelation of how Time Out came to pass, if you were wondering how I even got to Time Out with Traci Ann, I used to watch this show some years ago, probably the early 2000s, that was called Super Nanny. I don't know why it was so intriguing to me how she would handle and deal with the children and the parents, but I remember the technique she used when she would put the children on a timeout. She would say or tell the parents, if you put them on a timeout, you need to explain to them why. But the duration of time that they would be on in a timeout was based on their age. And then something came to me, or the Spirit told me, that adults need to be put on a timeout sometimes, and not in a negative way. So, in the way that a lot of people now, and we speak about, self-care, self-awareness, and ultimately, the ultimate goal would be to be walking self-actualization, where you're so aware that you know your goods and your negatives, the things that trigger you. Knowing that allows you to walk in a space of self-actualization. So on the podcast, we're going to continue to discuss mindfulness and how that looks, and how we can put ourselves on an adult timeout. Now, I know I need to be on a timeout sometimes, just because things get heated or elevated and I need to step back. But I also am aware that I need to put myself on a timeout to regenerate, to recalibrate, just to step away from everything going on in the world, and to be okay with that. Now, what's unfortunate sometimes that I found in the interaction with people and family and friends and in corporate America is sometimes we don't even know how to do that. Be like, oh, I'm taking some time off. And you're restless. You're still anxious. You don't know how to be still. You don't know how to calm your mind. You don't know the things that actually cause you to rest. So, on the podcast, we're going to discuss these things. I'm going to share things about my life and circumstances and situations and things that I've been through that helped me get to a place of self-actualization and how I move about in life. And sometimes we just need a little help in identifying and what that looks like for us, because we see how other people do it, but we can't figure it out for ourselves. So I'm going to be vulnerable, transparent, and share some things. And also along the way, give you tools. I have people come in and we can discuss things so it's more relatable and applicable to you, and you can use in your day-to-day life. A lot of things that we need are so readily accessible to us, but they can appear to be overwhelming because it's something that we're just not used to. So I want to take some of that feeling away from it and take some of that feeling of angst and people thinking, oh, I'm being selfish. You're being selfish because you're thinking about you. You're putting you first. But there's a way to do it without the guilt. So we're going to talk about these things on the Time Out podcast. So I'm excited for you guys to join me and go along this next phase of things. Like I said, I'm working on a few little things to get the kinks out of it, but I'm excited and I want you to join me. So stay on the lookout. Follow this YouTube because it's going to be here as well. I will do videos here as well. I also come in and do, still some mindful nuggets to keep us encouraged and moving on about our day. But I just wanted to say hello to everyone and tell you that I'm back, and to say that I'm excited for this next thing and this next phase that we're going to be going into. So in the meantime, in between time, think about putting yourself on a timeout.